take a particular route, and it drives you all over BFE to get there.
bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare above bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the Nothing's ever soaking through the filter that that glistened on his brow. His tired feet were buried in the crowd. For him in fulfillment of his vow. He felt his fingers wrap around the knotted group and pull his body up past the creeping mossy boulder and drag his wish ass up the mountain. And he climbed so slowly, so slowly ahead, Suddenly he heard the crack of thunder, and the rocks began to crumble overhead and tumbled down the mountain to the dismal swamp that lay beneath the jagged cliffs through which his path had led. And the earth began to quake beneath his feet, and the mighty mountain changed before his eyes. And he stood amidst a sea of passing rocks and stones cascading down the mountain, and 1,000 birds were headed for the sky. Oh, the sacred creek will be yours. Till tomorrow, sacred creed will be yours to devour, yours to seize, obey, obey. When the dust had cleared, the colonel lifted up his head and was driven to his knees by a blazing beam of light. And he saw the silhouette that stood before him. And he bowed in reverence, trembling in the shadow of the mighty legend's form. The prophet stood before his eye and looked down on Colonel Forden, where he shuddered in the puddles and the muck. And he quietly addressed him, and he spoke so slowly, he spoke so slowly, he said, come here and I help you with your destiny, knowledge that you lack. I call upon my faithful friend, the mockingbird to fly and seize up and the tree of knowledge in your soul will grow. And help me fairly focus. I warn you that I'm not deceiving you, say pure becomes a dead breath in the hands of avarice. The sacred creed will be yours. Till tomorrow, the sacred creed will be yours, yours to see and to obey, obey.
was not worth it for sitting in what's going to be 18 traffic backups.
Famous mockingbird came out of the sky.
Hey, Russ.
Hey, what's up?
So I sent you a zip file in the PDF, but I recall them. So I, for some reason, I named the folder with the wrong part number. So
Okay.
give me a few minutes, and I will repost it. Okay?
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
No problem. Bye.
That sweaty bulldog stood in the sun. Stone Village swamp man, slow motion run. Tender boat, Lee's Walker, fresh as birthday fudge. Swamp night, Homedale, Walker done me and Apua. Couldn't care fewer, it happens all the time. We beat Okibo, me and Apua. We couldn't care fewer, it happens all the time. We beat Okibo. Hot liquor, stone jack, dinner to nice flesh. Chabby, pitiful, chill snot. Even milky rash, me and Apua. Faster get out hound. Oozing dreadlock skull cap. Coming to your town. Me and Apua. Couldn't care fewer. Happens all the time. Repeat Okibo. Me and Apua. Couldn't care fewer. Happens all the time. Repeat Okibo. Welcome everybody, welcome. So you all know the beginning to this story. We've done a couple of those tunes from the kind of Game Hingeland during this set. And this story concerns a couple of people. The first one being this old man who lived on the outskirts of Gamehenge. And he was chastised and pushed out, moved up into the woods somewhere. And this guy lives up in the woods with his dog, his mangy dog, who you all know, the star of our story here, Harpua.
You are interrupting a Harpua. It better be good.
A what?
A Harpua. Harpua is a fish song where they always tell a funny narration, and you just interrupted the beginning of the narration.
Like, you've heard them for fucking 25 years. You know every one of them. I'm not interrupting
each
nothing.
one's different, dude. That's...
Don't tell me they didn't repeat after 25 years.
They've never repeated a Harpua story.
Oh, okay, whatever.
No, it's all good. What's up?
I told Mike that I wasn't going to do it because you told me to. So now he wants to do 8 and 7, and we're having this meeting at 4:00. And
Yeah.
he's saying that I rejected it, and I rejected it because you told me to reject it.
That's fine. I'll fight with them about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care either. I mean, and we just at the end of the day want to do what they want us to do. But if they're going to do 15 or something, now he wants to split it up to 8 and 7, 2 different spots. That wasn't the case before.
Right, and
it was.
He's going to. That's what I'm saying. If they want any deviation, they need to document the hell out of it, and so
Right.
It's legit. I'm not willing to go off anything verbal with them anymore.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I don't want to do anything. They won't sign off on anything. It takes forever for corrosion. They fuck me on everything, and they keep changing stuff. And I'm done with Stellantis. And they're not our number one customer. They suck. And what the fuck's wrong with you? Why do I got to look at 400 WeChats because nobody knows how to talk about a tank and VW and all that shit?
What are you on a WeChat group about VW for?
The BUSUV is
Oh.
25 of us on there, and you keep asking the same question. Oh, what about Germany? What about shipping? What about receiving? What the fuck?
Take yourself off the group. You don't need to be on that anymore.
I want to know who Josiah is.
He's their supplier quality engineer. He's actually a pretty cool guy.
Does he work for VW or us?
Yeah, no, he works for VW.
Does he work in Germany or Chattanooga?
Chattanooga.
Oh, well, that's cool. Good, got some relationship. How's all them going? I don't hear you bitch about them anymore. Does that mean you're all caught up?
I just keep my gripes to myself anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't talk about it anymore, so I didn't know how it was going.
No, it's going okay. I mean, there's always frustrating things, but such as
we're probably going to get screwed on that too, because VW is closing a bunch of plants and getting rid of 30,000 people. I just was reading the other day in the weekend they want to get rid of 3 platforms in the U.S., a Jetta and 2 others. But, so we'll see how that turns out. The number one worst car to buy is the ID4, which is made in Chattanooga. Well, not anymore. They have a 2-year supply on hand.
I don't know. I just read an article that said the Cybertruck is the biggest automotive
piece of shit.
The biggest automotive flop since I think the Ford Edsel maybe.
Yeah, I saw something about that. But dude, it's ugly. Who needs it? Why do you?
And it falls apart.
It's not that it's a flop. It's that Elon Musk is my hero because he got people to buy it, pre-order it, everything. Everybody is like in a trend.
It was a bait and switch. He had people pre-order it, and then he jacked the price up by 2. So 90% of the people that pre-ordered it.
So did you ever see that movie? Did you ever see that movie? What is it? The 4th of July or whatever? What's the movie where?
The Vietnam movie?
No, the movie with the black guy. Oh God, what's his name? Will Smith and the guy, and they smoke cigars with the aliens.
Oh, Independence Day.
Independence Day. All them motherfuckers, take me, take me. That's how Elon Musk is. That's how you are with Fish and your things and Bernie Sanders. You guys all want to go up in that ship. Take me, pick me first, and they all.
I'm happy if they send Elon on a ship. Get him
you guys all line up. I just stay in the woods. I'm in touch with nature. I don't need no Fish concerts. I don't need no Bernie Sanders.
Jim, the only spaceship I want to go to is the mothership in Hampton, Virginia, Hampton Coliseum.
What's there?
Look it up. Just do a Google search for Hampton Coliseum. It's called the mothership for a reason.
Hampton Coliseum?
Yep.
Hampton Coliseum. Hampton, Virginia. Hampton Coliseum. I had never been there. I've actually never been in the state of Virginia. In my whole life. I've come close. I was in Maryland. I was in Delaware.
Yeah.
Hampton Coliseum. People say this venue offers great sound quality and a wide variety of events. Oh, it almost sounds like it's like the Sphere, huh?
No, it's nothing like the Sphere. It's a relatively small venue that's been around for a long time, and it looks like a spaceship from the outside.
Yeah, I've seen it. It shows like Monster Jam, Disney on Ice, shit like that.
Yeah. No, it's a great place to see a concert. The only time I've been to Virginia recently is 10 plus years ago, going out to that Coliseum to see Fish.
Yeah, I know. Everything you do is Fish. You and Fish are like me and Italian food.
Yeah.
I never turn it down.
Yeah, I haven't been to a concert.
I mean, I actually give you credit. I mean, I give you credit because they used to call you back in the day groupies or whatever. I respect people that like people I know follow Journey, or people I know follow Fish, or people like their whole life, some people are into Star Wars. My son's into Star Wars. He's got stuff in the one room on a wall and special shelves and all that. So anybody has their 1 or 2 things like that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because that means you're passionate and dedicated, and it also means you're going to study, and if I ask you a question about it, you're going to say this happened then, you're going to know the history, the dates, everything. That's pretty cool, you know? which that was more popular back in the day, like with the Rolling Stones and different groups and the Beatles. Now I don't think it's more onesie twosies. There's not really the people don't follow stuff, probably because there's so much stuff to choose from now, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Grateful Dead kind of set the bar for.
Is that when it started, you think? Okay.
That's first time I was ever aware of it. You know, the people going to, you know, show after show after show after show after show for weeks.
What is Fish considered? Rock?
I don't think you can narrow them down into one category. They're technically a jam band, you know, a band that does a lot of improvisation, like, but they're rock. They're
no, I was just because I was trying to type it in. Oh, it's under rock.
Yeah, it's
Fish Tickets happening. Wait, oh, they're in Boston tomorrow at Fenway Park.
Yeah. They just
and
did,
then, wow, they're 3 days in a row at Fenway Park.
Dude, they just did, like, a couple years ago, they did 13 days in a row at Madison Square Gardens.
Holy shit.
And
wait, they're doing Boston 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row.
For
then they're going to Colorado for 4 days.
Yeah. The show I was just listening to, which you so rudely interrupted, was their 96th show at Madison Square Garden. And that means that New Year's, because they always do like 4 shows for New Year's at Madison Square Garden usually. So New Year's will be their 100th show playing there.
Wow. Wait, this New Year's Eve is their 100th show in like 20 years at Madison Square Gardens?
Yes. I mean, it's not been announced yet, but you can kind of tell that's what they're being set up to do. Because they just played, I don't know, like 6 or 7 shows there, and that was like 90 through 96, which leaves December 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st for the 100 show.
So let me ask you this. I know it's going to be hard for you to answer. Is Fish going to be like Rolling Stones? Do you think they'll play into their 70s, or what's your thoughts on retirement for them?
I hope so.
Yeah. Because they're still relatively young, right? They're not. Are they in their 60s yet?
I don't know exactly how old they're. They might be, actually. Yeah.
So you got maybe 10 years left before they start thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, they're all. I hope they keep playing until they start dropping dead. Which I suspect will be a long ways off. They're all pretty healthy now. Trey's off the drugs and.
Yeah, and I think that what's the guys from the Stones? Oh, the one with the tongue.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger. I think he's like 76 and he was still on stage, right?
Yeah, I don't think you could necessarily call what the Stones do particularly impressive. It's it's the same.
No, but
same.
And the same thing with Kiss. Some of them guys on Kiss were in their 70s, still dressing up, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's so many tribute bands and all that, so you never know what you're seeing.
Yeah. I just think it's amazing that Keith Richards is still alive. All the drugs that guy did, it's.
Well, I mean, wasn't everyone on drugs back in Woodstock and all that too? A lot of them have passed on, like Nirvana, but even Jefferson Airplane and a lot of those people back then, they were all doing a lot of heavy drugs.
Look up the 27 Club.
Yeah, I seen that already. Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix.
One of my favorite
Janis
people.
Joplin,
One of my favorite people's in the 27 Club. I love that chick, man. What's her name?
Janis Joplin.
No, well, Janis Joplin too, but after her, the latest one. Oh my God, chick with the black hair.
Oh, is it Amy
Winehouse.
Yeah.
I love Amy Winehouse, man.
Jimi Hendrix.
Kind of sad. It's kind of sad
Yeah.
because she was talented, and yeah, Janis Joplin was talented. I mean, some people die at 27 and some make it to 77. I guess it's just the luck of the draw and what plans you got for you.
Yeah.
All right, we got to be on this call in 4 minutes. Talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
There's another character in this story, so that this
Who ruins a perfectly good artbook?
stupid.
Let me share the photo I got. Hold on a second. So this was
Hey guys.
the plan
Hey, Russ.
right now.
Mm-hmm. That's the standard. That's how the joint will come in today, and that's the initial test is for.
Right. But mainly just in this area right here.
Well, it'll be for the plastic side as well, right?
No, that's what we can't pass. I have to cover all this plastic with rubber, or I can't pass this test. That's what we did for J4U. If I heat any of this with an open flame, it goes right through that 3 millimeter wall because I'm pressurizing the inside of this. I can only burn through this rubber, so I'll give it okay.
Hey, Craig. I don't know if you want to wait for Mike or not since everybody started.
No,
but
Jim, I'm not sure because I know he's in a meeting with Lemire, so.
Oh, got it. I thought
this
this time.
This is the only way we got it to pass. Is we put the rubber.
Jim. Yes, we understand, and Mike understands. But what Mike wants to do, this is why I said wait for Mike, but yeah, since he's going to be busy because of Lemire. But what he wants to do is we're going to be running the test. We might as well learn something from the test for future programs because, okay, yes, for this one in particular, we don't need to meet the homologation requirement, but for any future program that may need it, we're just going to score you as red, and we're not even going to take it into account because we know that you're not going to be passing that, right?
Okay, so you guys don't understand the homologation requirement then. Even when I'm burning a tank or a fill pipe or a line, when I'm doing burn tests with the EC inspector on site in San Antonio, I'm allowed to burn holes in a tank and the lines and canisters, and even a liquid tank with liquid in it. I just can't have a breach anywhere where the liquid is. The tank's half full, there won't be no liquid here. So if I do an ECE test, I'm gonna burn this plastic all up. I can show you videos of the canister, all the vent lines and everything that burn, whether it's a steel pipe or a plastic pipe or a jumper hose. It's a whole separate test and a whole separate time and a whole separate setup. So I understand what you mean for down the road. And I understand, like, these plastic pipes were originally on the EMPs or whatever, and the plastic pipe was welded to the tank, no jumper hose. So that plastic pipe, all this rubber is gone, and it still has to pass ECE test. It's separate. This is more of a material test, this SAE test. It was basically designed for different types of raw material, like PEX line or just extruded lines. It actually shouldn't even be on the scope and part of the PF 90195, as far as I'm concerned. I told Mike that, but I don't know how that's going to turn out. I don't know what.
So you're saying it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, because of the test that you don't have liquid in this line, everything is within the tank. Even if this leak, you would still be passing it because the liquid will still be contained within the tank.
Yes, on Fernando, on the ECE homologation test. This isn't an ECE test. This is
yes, in the homologation test.
For this test, and you see how this test is pressurized. The ECE test is non-pressurized. Whether if it's an FTIV or a system, a PHEV or a NERCO systems, I always test with the, well, you can test either way, in the customer, with the FTIV closed or open. It doesn't matter, because if it's open or closed, as soon as it melts through a vent line coming out of the module or the tank or anywhere in your system, it's open atmosphere.
Jim, is there liquid inside during this test?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just pressure. And a little flame under here where my hand is, my arrows are. So
yes, it just goes back to you saying that this test doesn't really make sense. Like if somebody in the past said, oh, okay, there's this possible homologation, we might as well do this test at component level, but it doesn't even mirror how it actually works for the homologation. So it's not really representative of what happens.
Because inside of this, you see this is all connected. I think, Mike, do you remember what the PSI? I think it's 5 PSI, right?
That sounds right, 35 kPa.
Yeah. It's pressurized into here, and then we're lighting a flame under it. So you can imagine in this 3 mil area here where our wall is, with 35 PSI and light a match under it, or 35 kPa, 5 PSI. There's nothing to stop this. There's no FR. There's nothing in this plastic. No flame retardant. And I tried putting some patches over this, and I remember Craig was there. It didn't work. We put a piece of metal over it. This is the only way we were able to get it to pass, was with rubber on both sides. And TRP and James and us as a team came up with that. So I don't know. I understand Mike's point. If he was trying to just put an open flame under this to simulate an ECE test and see how worst case it is. But the other thing is...
Yeah, but you're saying that's not really representative because, again, that's not how the ECE works because, one, it's not going to be pressurized, and two, even if you do leak, like it will open and crack and whatever, but that's not going to affect the ECE test because this will not have any liquid in the way that they run the test. And I can see somebody say, well, yeah, but what happens if you put fuel in the vehicle and you still have liquid in here? And the answer would be, yes, that can happen, but that's not how the ECE test is done. So that's kind of a moot point in that regard.
Yeah. I don't know where EC comes in and related to this SAE spec, but
Can I say that again?
Well,
I don't understand. Like,
this isn't sold in Europe, right?
No,
No.
I don't understand the correlation that Mike and Stellantis is trying to achieve to simulate the ECE and SAE. So I understand they were trying to kill two birds with one stone to get an idea of how robust this plastic is for a burn test, but it's a completely separate, different setup. So I can give you an example. So I don't have it here, I could get it. But see this plastic here? If it melts and drips on the top of my fuel tank during an ECE test and puts a hole in my tank, that's still a pass, right? Because it puts the hole in there, but it's not, what's the word? There's no breach. The whole ECE test is to make sure that your component doesn't fan the flame. So on the bottom of a fuel tank, if I get a hole in it from a burn, that's not acceptable. That's a fail, because as soon as a hole goes through the bottom of a tank with 10 gallons in it, the liquid starts flowing out all over, and the car becomes inflamed, or school bus or whatever, right? But a hole's on the top or on the side where there's no liquid, and no liquid could, call it piss out or whatever, that's a pass. As soon as you see a drip or any liquid, it's a fail on the ECE test. On this one, it's a pass for 2 minutes, and if it starts leaking after 2 minutes, it's a pass. Under 2 minutes, it's a fail. I think that's how it's written, right, Mike? Yeah. So, but like I said, when you read the SAE spec for this 2027, this is more of an extruded material test or a rubber test. If you look back at all the testing SAE that you've done, they mainly burn at the joint when they're actually testing this jumper hose. And TRP has experience. They've done this a million times. Well, maybe not a million, but they're basically testing the hose, not the plastic material or the joint. And I know this is new technology in the U.S. and the first time you go into plastic pipes, and Mike Marcon mentioned that he wanted to get a good idea for the future as far as like if we're going to more plastic pipes, what can we expect, and like that. So I don't know if that's why he wanted to do 8 and 7, because he put that in his comments.
So, Fernando, what I was talking with Jim about yesterday is from my perspective, like, we're willing to do just about whatever you guys request us to do. I just need it. I need two things. I need it to be documented in writing what Stellantis is asking for, and if it's anything deviating from the original test method, that portion of test can be for information only, but no pass-fail criteria.
Right, I think one of Mike's points is that the spec says like center, elastomeric hose, and filler piping. So it would be run to both. Right, and it was about, as you mentioned that, okay, yeah, for the EC, it should be done that way in particular. For the SAE, you usually do it, yeah, exactly, to this section. But this is the one that you don't think that this.
This is what we need for mounting. This will be covered, this will be covered. The center is right here. The elastomeric hose is centered with the plastic interface, because this is the bead, right? And this is the joint. So if you read that's what that means. Center elastomeric hose and the filler pipe interface. That's what that is. That's as center as you're going to get in that picture. Because this is the elastomeric hose and this is the filler pipe. So the flame will be right in this area, right next to the clamp.
And the part about like covering the plastic section, and I understand why you cover it, right? Because you would not be passing. But the spec doesn't mention anything that section should be covered. It just said like, okay, you center it and then you run the test to that area in general. So we want to understand why. Okay, well, I guess we know why, right? You want to cover it because of faith. But why would that be like within this period of the spec, in the sense that yes, it doesn't specifically say you need to let that section uncovered, but it doesn't say that you should cover that section.
It doesn't say either way. We couldn't pass until we covered it in the stop picture with the 5 PSA. Well, we could pass. We just couldn't pass 2 minutes.
It's covered because that's part of the assembly, right? I mean, you have a jumper hose pipe interface that's covered by design.
This is covered, but this
that's
side
the
isn't
plastic
covered.
side. Yeah, that's uncovered.
This isn't covered, and you'd have to look. I covered it up. There's plastic. On the J4U, this is the ICV side, and this was the pipe going up. I could not pass this test with this being uncovered. And they knew that for the J4U, and they know it now. And if they want this covered to pass, I would have to do a big, huge DOE. Because if this is steel, it doesn't matter. It will pass every time because you got a rubber jumper over a steel insert, right? And
I think that's the biggest concern.
So,
yeah, that's what drives the concern exactly. You say, okay, we know that it sounds that regardless of what we do, a plastic pipe will never be able to meet that part if the plastic section is not covered.
Well, it won't be able to meet this burn test and this SAE test. It was never intended. This plastic pipe on the left was never intended to be part of the SAE 2027. If you read that spec deeper, it's more of a material test. Like for extruded lines and PEX or any other kind of aluminum or tubing, whatever. You have to go through that line by line. The SAE spec is not just for vehicle manufacturing, it's for like electrical tubing, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. It's called like something. I actually have it. Standard for protective coverage for gasoline fuel line tubing.
Mike Popovich, have you tested any other, like for electrical companies or conduit, or have yours always been automotive? You know?
Oh, it's been either automotive, but a lot of hose and just hose and tube, lengths of hose and tubing, not so much assemblies.
Right, just straight pieces.
Yeah.
Not with it. But you've done this for Avon or FRS or other companies, just hose test?
I can either confirm or deny what testing we've done for other companies.
Right. But I meant this type of rubber, like jumper hoses like this, is what I'm saying. Or is it always, how many different materials?
I mean, we've done just jumper hose material.
Right.
And, or
have you ever done material like the electricians use, those electric gray pipes or stuff like that? That's what I'm getting at.
We've never done anything metal.
No, all plastic. I'm talking about the plastic pipe.
Like, I don't recall doing anything like that.
Like a Home Depot, like a plastic Home Depot plastic electrical conduit or plumbing conduit. Yeah. That's what I was trying to ask.
There's probably like an IEC standard for that.
Okay.
Probably a building code standard for conduit.
Well, I don't know. I just know the SAE, like, our lines that we use on top, Mike, where the vent lines for charcoal canisters and that?
Yeah.
You tested lines like that. Those
we've done extruded tubing.
Yeah, extruded tubing, yeah. So those had to be protected some type of way, right? Because they would, if you didn't have any protection, they would burn. If you're talking about nylon tubing, extruded tubing.
Really depends on what. Yeah, I'm sure they had some sort of multi-layer or some kind of covering,
or they had FR in the extrusion, because that's what I was trying to explain to Russ. Okay, is that I failed a test on an ECE burn test because the customer gave me an aero shield that goes on the bottom of the cars, and they accidentally sent me aero shields without FR in it, so it actually fanned the flame. So when I got the right shield, with FR in it, then it detonated the flame. So I would have to put some FR into this line or some asbestos shield or ceramic coating and stuff like that if you're that worried about it for this test. But It's not the same test as an ECV test. But I agree with you, Fernando. You need to be prepared if you are going to go plastic and any of these components get shipped to Europe and you have to pass the ECE burn test, which is different than this test, then you have to prepare for that. But like I said, it's a different test, so you're allowed to burn holes in it. Because anything plastic, this plastic that we make this fill pipe from, or our tanks, it's going to melt when it hits a flame. Especially
that's something that I've thought of, like when this topic came up, because I know historically, and this requirement, like talking about the ECE requirement is for Europe, and Europe is actually the region that has always used plastic fuel fillers. So I get the point that the way that you run it probably has something to do because your plastic filler pipes are not different from any of the other ones that has always been made in Europe, and they've always passed that requirement with a plastic filler pipe. So I think it makes sense explanation that you give for the ECE being done, like the acceptance criteria, not that it shouldn't leak, just that no liquid should be spilled, and I do see that happening with the plastic pipe. Yeah.
I mean, the hardest part is this, is like we said, it's 35 kPa or whatever. It's highly pressurized. And then this whole little trough here is full of fuel. Oh, the way James does it, he was able to get the flame like at the joint, because you guys, that's supposed to be the joint, and this one is right here. Same with this bottom one. So the joint is, well, the barb is right here, so I usually try to burn right in front of the clamp. This is a material test, though, and this material has been around forever. This material, the jumper hose, is super flame resistant and pressure resistant. Our blow molded fill pipe is not. It's thin wall. I guess we could go to a thicker wall, but really can't, because then it changed the internal geometry of everything. So I saw Mike's, let's go back to that. I saw his email here about wanted to do.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yep, yeah, I can hear.
Sorry, let me just call it over.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, what I wanted to do, Jim, was like, I know that for this program and the G4U, we're not going to be exposed to like near the flame. That the ICV is mounted high. We are shielded by frame and body panels, and to your point earlier, the way the ECC test is run is different than the
SAE test.
Than the component test, because I know we had to set up different ride heights depending on the vehicle for running the ECE, and this one, you know, it's like right at the flame, you know.
Well, none of the ECE is pressurized. Both of these pictures, there'll be 5 psi inside this pipe of air pressure, and then the flame will be in this little trough right at the joint where the end form is. Thing with this, when I burn it, the flame's going to be right here, this area right in front of the clamp.
Right. But
if any of the flame gets to this mic, it'll burn a hole in it. I couldn't pass. The only way I could pass is, if you look at the picture on top here, is to have this rubber jumper butt up against everything and then burn in this area. Because with 5 psi inside of this tube, and this being a 3 mil wall approximately, any open flame will burn a hole in this quickly, very quickly. Well, I did pass up to a minute and a half. I couldn't pass 2 minutes. Some were burning at 80 seconds or 100 seconds. I mean, Craig was on site. I'm sure he remembers. But this was the only way we were able to pass, when I covered this plastic with the rubber jumper.
Yeah, so my point was that, you know, if we get a new unibody